Hello, kings and queens. This is Zena at Wealth and Success Business Enterprises. I want to thank you for viewing my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please give me the thumbs up. So, what I'm going to be discussing today is proposals and tips on how your project can get funded by the donors or by the people that are going to release the funds to you for your project. So let me begin with some information for you. Okay, a grant proposal. Provide a clear and precise presentation of what your purpose, of what you propose to do before you get started. Okay, make sure your presentation is clear and concise. That's what they're looking for, something clear and concise and to the point. What is the idea you want to bring into fruition and seeking additional funding? What is your idea that you want to bring into fruition? Strategy, phrase, detail your approach. Phrase, detail your approach. A well thought out game plan of what you are proposing to do so that the funder will give you the funds. Read the grant application carefully. There's always going to be a grant application that you're going to need to read to follow the details and instructions that are in the application to make sure that the details are included and line up with the funder is requesting. Make sure that when you're filling out the application that you are lining up your answers, your information on what the funder is requesting in the grant application. Note, don't apply for things that you don't qualify for. Don't apply for things that you do not qualify for. Private funding is for 1 year, and with private funding, I'm going to give you some more details later on. Government funding is up to 3 years, and I'm going to give you some more details on what government funding is. Your proposal needs to have a concrete, tangible meaning. Cannot be vague, something solid. Your proposal needs to have a concrete, tangible. Tangible means something that is what you're working right now, a project that you have in place right now. That's what tangible is. It doesn't mean something that you want to do way out in the future. Your project must be existing. You know, it may not be where you want it right now, but at least you have something that is tangible. Okay, cannot be vague or something. Cannot be vague. Something solid. Make sure you can meet the deadline proposal. There's always a deadline noted in the application on when the submission date of your application is due. This is what you need to do when applying for a grant. Look at the do's and don't of the grant application. In the grant application, they're going to be very specific on what is included, what is not included. So look at the do's and don't of the grant application. Follow all the instructions. Review and check off boxes. Require and request the documents before grant application deadline. Pay attention to due date. Follow instructions on how to submit your applications. Cover sheet, narrative, who is it going to help, budget, how are you going to spend the funds, attachments, audit financials, and forms. Okay, so these things will probably be included in the application, what I just read off. what I just read to you. Okay, get a proposal that is easy to understand and that can be done in time specified. Get a proposal that is easy to understand. What are the benefits that the community will receive from your project? What are the benefits that the what are the benefits that the community will receive from your project? What is your project going to do to benefit your community? Is it going to be a health based clinic? Is it going to be a boys and girls after school program? Is it going to be a mental health um, um, mental health program? So a counseling program. So how is your program going to benefit the community? Okay, engage the reader. Provide proof that this can happen. This will make the reader interested in your proposal. So engage the reader. Provide proof that this can happen. Have a clear outline of what you want to do. It needs to be in alignment with the funder. Whenever you are applying for a proposal, you have to make sure that the proposal is something that you can do. You need to make sure that whatever that funder is requesting in the proposal application, that you are able to provide the information that they are requesting. Okay. Back in the day, there was an old way, a custom way how proposals were done years ago. There was a cover sheet, a table of contents, executive summary was 1 page, a statement of need was 2 pages, a project description was 3 pages, budget was 1 page, organization information was 1 page, a conclusion, 2 paragraphs, appendix, and supporting materials. SMART goals and objectives. Write SMART goals. Details why and what you're doing. Where are you headed with your goal and game plan? Use pictures and graphs if it's possible. Some grant applications are online and may not allow any uploading of documents. Yes, today most of the grant applications are online. And with that, I don't think there is an attachment box where you can upload pictures and graphs and other things like that. So pay attention to the application. Pay attention to when you go online to apply for the application, the proposal, the grant application, that if that will be included for uploads. Okay. Okay, use relevant, up-to-date information. Okay, now here's the new way of today's state of the art of how proposals, grant applications are submitted. New way, contact the funder. You can contact the funder personally through email, or maybe visit the location where the funder is located. You need to have a website, grant development strategy. You need to strategize your grant development. Increase your confidence, have boldness. God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Okay, here is a story of a gentleman that wanted to apply for a grant. Okay, a grant for proposal funding. Okay, he had a great idea. like most of us do. We have a great idea. He said, I want to feed the homeless. Okay. Um, he hasn't or did not begin to feed the homeless. He said he wanted to feed the homeless. He didn't have, he didn't have, he wasn't working his plan. It was an idea, and it was a thought. It was in his mind, but it wasn't tangible. He was not working it. You could have been out, with uh, lunch boxes or lunch bags, and going through the community, and and distributing that, and having that maybe on video, or having pictures of that. So that's what he wanted to do. He didn't have a building where food could be cooked or prepared. So it was an idea, but it says here, you need to have a tangible. You need to at least be doing something. If you just renting a building, or if you're using your home, or something, you need to have something tangible. Okay, the funder wants to see that you have been actively working your project. The funders want to see that you have been actively working your project, because they're not just going to give you funds. They're not going to give you the funds if you are not doing anything. You have to begin, you have to start, you have to have something. You just can't say, well, I want to do this. They want to see you actively working your project. You will not receive any funds if you are not actively working or administering your project. The different types of grants. Okay, there are federal grants, state grants, foundation grants, and charity grants. Federal grants, discretionary or formula grant. Formula grant is allocated by the federal government. There is no competition in this arena. Still apply. The federal government may be interested in your program and allocate the funds to your organization. Examples of federal grants is Medicaid, or child welfare system, like Children and Family Services. These are federal grants that fall up under that category. Okay, formula, and for how you spell this is FORMULA. Formula grants, not formula with the R on the end. Okay, Administration of Children and Families. The Children's Bureau administers formula grants to support state and tribes in operating the child welfare systems, including child maltreatment prevention. So if you have a program where you are meeting the needs of the child care welfare system, and you're small, this would be a great grant to apply for with the federal government. Okay, discretionary grants means competitive and compete for these grants. Okay, you can have a regular grant, or you can have a cooperative grant agreement. A cooperative agreement could be a research grant. The federal grant is working side by side with you. So with a federal grant, the government is working side by side with you. I'm going to give you more detail about the cooperative grant. Okay, federal grants are discretionary, working together side by side. Discretionary, meaning that we're going to give you this grant at our discretion to see how you're going to use it. So discretionary. Okay, cooperative, you're working together, like a cooperative agreement. You're cooperating with the federal government on this project, working together. They may have to approve your budget first. This is for a discretionary federal grant. They may have to approve all key personnel you're going to hire. This is what working with a federal discretionary grant. They are really involved in the process. They may have to take a lot, you may have to take a lot of webinar trainings. If the federal grant fits your project, go after it. They work side by side with you. Grants can be searched on grants.gov. Okay, these are discretionary grants, fall under the federal government, and you can research this at grants.gov. Okay, state grants are formula discretionary, two different types of grants. There are also state contracts and federal grants. State contracts are competitive to apply for. The difference between a contract and a grant. A contract is a legal binding document. If you don't spend your money properly, you will have to pay it back, or the plan doesn't go like you thought it would. This is a contract grant with the federal. So it's a binding contract. And if you don't spend the money correctly, you will have to pay it back. A grant is not binding. A grant is not binding, but a federal contract grant is binding. A grant is not binding. If you don't follow through on a grant contract, you can go to jail. When looking at different types of funding, be careful of what they entail. Think of this as a partnership. It's not free money that you're going to spend, no matter what different types of partnerships, contracts, or grants. Foundations can easily be 150 pages. Sometimes they want 2 pages, a 2-page inquiry. Maybe they have a 4-page limitation. They can be more competitive. You have private foundations and public charities. Public charity is when they're asking the public for money. Okay, so these are foundations. Okay, the private foundation, they have lots of money, and they are very selective about what they fund. Sometimes they don't take unsolicited offers or proposals because they have a lot of people applying, and applying. Okay. Look at foundations actually fund. Okay, find out if you know people on the board. It's a good way to establish a relationship with them. Yes, like foundations are like they're like private, like Ford, like those that are very rich and have lots of money. So it's best to, like they said, find out who's on the board and try to establish a relationship with them, because they're very selective, and they normally give money to people that they already know. Okay, foundations can be very picky and very precise on locations and county. They're very picky on what location, what county, that they're going to fund projects. They want to, okay. Sometimes private foundations give to people they already know. It's their foundation and it's their money. If you are having an event, send them some tickets. Don't just ask for money. This is a relationship. Send pictures of what you're doing in your program. They may not be funding what you're doing. Maybe some other board that they know can recommend your project to them. Okay, so like I said, as always, if you can, reach out to the board, reach out to the funder, see if you can establish a relationship. People, they receive hundreds and hundreds of applications, and they don't know you. It's sometimes it's just good. I watched a movie years ago, and this guy was trying to get into this company. He kept writing, he kept sending letters, he kept just doing whatever it takes. One day he showed up, and the owner or the funder said, he said, I've been waiting for you. He said, I knew you was going to show up one day because I was getting so many letters and so many correspondence from you. I've been waiting. I was just waiting to see when you were going to show up. So, that's some good advice right there. Okay. You can go on, let me see. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. You can visit guidestar.org, and that is www.guide.star.org. Here you can look at all the foundations, enter their name. You can look at their 990s that they filed. This is public information. It is a free service and website for you to use. Who is required to file a 990? Most tax-exempt organizations are required to file an annual tax returns with the IRS, even though most tax-exempt nonprofit organizations do not pay federal taxes on revenue related to their purpose. So once again, okay, tax-exempt nonprofit organizations do not pay federal taxes on revenue related to their purpose. So non-tax organizations, non-exempt or organizations, tax-exempt organizations do not pay taxes on revenue because they're exempt, because they're not making a profit. They are receiving funds from the government. Okay, most do have to file an informational return with the IRS. So every year you will. I don't know how their tax thing is formulated. Maybe it's yearly. I know for us, people that work, and we have to file our taxes yearly. So with a tax exempt organization, you need to file an informational return with the IRS. This annual reporting return is called Form 990. So yes, it is an annual yearly reporting, and the form is called a 990. You can go through and see who they have given money to over the years, for what and for how much. It is a good way to research the foundations. So with that Guide Star search, you can look at the foundations and find out, who has been funding their projects. You can go through and see who they have given money to over the years, for what and for how much. It is a good way to research the foundations to see, are they giving to similar things that you might be doing. You really want to find out what is the foundation's mission and vision is, and see if your product even aligns with that. It may not after you start doing your research. See what they're giving to other organizations, and then go into those organizations' websites and see what they are getting, and see where they are getting all their funding from. So basically, what this is saying is that once you go to that guide star search engine and look at the foundations and you enter their name, okay, you want to look at different foundations that have projects, and there you'll be able to see who is funding them, where is their funding coming from, and then from there you can probably reach out to those funders and see if your project aligns with what they're requesting. So that's what that search engine is for. Look at all the foundations, just like yours. Look it up, see who's funding them. That information should be listed there, okay? And okay, you can see what they're giving to other organizations, and then you can go into those organizations' websites. Like I just stated, go to those organizations' websites, the funders, okay, and see what they are getting their funding from. Okay. Does this take time? Yes, it does. This does take time. It's research. And you will have a better match than sending out hundreds of applications to 100 different places that all are the exact application. You're going to waste your time doing that. So this is a good way. This website, you can look at other organizations to see if their project is similar to yours. Find out who that funder is, and then maybe you can try to see what their proposals are. So this is a good way to help you with your research on getting funded. So this concludes my video on proposals, submitting your proposals. This is just tips. This is a disclaimer. My disclaimer is this is for educational purposes only. Through my research and my studying, I am providing this disclaimer that what I'm saying is not binding. It's not meaning that that what I'm saying that is binding, that is illegal, that is what I'm saying is legal, but what I'm providing is research and tips. So I hope that you can use this information for your proposal, for your projects. If you need more information, you can contact me at Zina Dotton, ZINA Dotton, DOTTON @gmail.com. Thank you for liking this video. Please like this video. Give me the thumbs up. Share, like. Thank you, kings and queens. Hope you have a great day and much success with your plans. Much success, wealth and success to you, and blessings. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.